So 2025 has been a pretty awesome year for video games, from Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2. A lot of incredible games came out this year, but my heart always sings for modern retro games. So you may have seen my review for Marvel's Cosmic Invasion, which is out now on my page, but I also had a chance to check out Terminator 2D No Fate. And this game surprised me in ways that I wasn't quite expecting. Now, it's not the perfect game. There's a couple of flaws in this game that we'll talk about a little bit later. But overall, this game impressed me in ways that I wasn't really expecting. So the game is actually made by Bitmap Bureau, and they're actually known for the game Xenocrisis, which is like a top-down shooter. But for the most part, they're like a little indie group that just made this game on the gumption and passion of their own desires to make the game. They got the Terminator 2D franchise and they just ran with it. So in this game, you actually play as multiple characters, including John Connor in the future, Sarah Connor, and of course T-1000, which is pretty awesome. And I think that if you're a fan of the Terminator franchise, like if you love Terminator, this game is an absolute must play. Like you need to play this game. If you love Terminator, if that's just like your shit, then you need to play this game. But also, if you're a fan of like old school retro shooters, like kind of similar to Contra or even beat 'em ups like Double Dragon, go check this game out. You might be pleasantly surprised, because I think when I started playing this game, I was deceptively just like, oh, okay, this game's not, it's fine. Like the first couple levels, especially if you play story mode, which seems to be easier than arcade mode, it came off a little bit mid. I was like, oh, this is cool. I like the aesthetic. It looks great, but it feels fine. You run around, you shoot the bad guys, and you get to the end of the level, you beat the boss. And the game was deceptively easy. But then as I got deeper and deeper into the game, I realized that the difficulty is actually based in the format that the game is presented in. And so this game really leans into old school 90s beat 'em up side scrollers and shooters, to where you have your number of lives in the game, your continues or whatever, and then when you run out, that's it. The game is over and resets. And this is a little shocking for me, because on my first playthrough, I got all the way to the end and I died randomly on the last level. And when the start screen came on, basically telling me to start over, my heart kind of dropped a little bit, because I was like, oh, man, I wasn't expecting to have to start all over from the beginning. That's like some old school 90s shit. So that's actually kind of a cool feeling, though, because it's been a while since I felt that in the game, because now modern gaming, they have all these save states, checkpoints, et cetera, and so forth. And if you lose all your lives, you can always just load your game back up to where you are. But I think a lot of this lends to the fact that the game is so short. So you can beat this entire game in about an hour and a half. It's a very, very, very quick game, which, seems to be pissing off a lot of people as they go look online and read comments and reviews about this. The number one complaint about this game is its price, which is about $30 for the gameplay, which is about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Now, with that said, there is some replay value. As you play through this game, there is a scene, an opportunity to have alternate timelines and storytelling, which I think is pretty cool. Now, I didn't get a chance to actually unlock those yet. You have to beat the game entirely and then go back to that point and make those choices. So I don't know if it leads to alternate endings or new levels or anything like that, but seemingly that alone adds a lot of replay value that is much needed for this game, because to ask to pay $30 for this game and only get 2 hours of gameplay, it's a little, ugh. It's a tough call. But like I said, if you're a Terminator fan and you absolutely love the franchise, then you need to have this game in your catalog. With that said, the game is not like mind blowing in terms of like gameplay. Like it's a straight up shooter, but there's a couple of twists in the game that really pleasantly surprised me. So there's a couple of sections that kind of feel like the speeding level, the speed racer level in Battletoads, the infamous dodging the walls levels, like the third level of Battletoads. They have moments like that in this game when you're being chased by a semi truck and then also running away from T-1000 later on in the game from a helicopter. And they're actually presented pretty well in a way that's like, oh, this is actually pretty fresh. And there's also a stealth sequence in the game, which is a big surprise because I wasn't expecting that. And I actually, with the first time that I played through the stealth level, I actually kind of felt a little bit of anxiety, because there's certain moments in the game, without giving away spoilers, where it's like, oh crap, you got to do this right now. And if you don't, you're dead. So I really like how Bitmap Bureau put together this game in a way that feels fresh, but also is akin to old school traditional 90s side scroller shooter slash beat 'em ups. And I keep saying slash because, like I said, there's so many different formats in this game. It's not just a shooter. It's not just like a chase sequence thing. There's also a little bit of beat 'em up in it. And so I really like what they did in the concept in terms of just making this game be more than what it seemed to be. Because when I saw the trailers and I saw like the previews for this game, I was like, it's interesting enough. I like Terminator enough to check it out. And that's basically like why I even got the game to check out, because I was like, why not? Right. So I went into this game with very low expectations because historically speaking, there hasn't really been like a lot of good Terminator games. Like I can't even think of the best Terminator game. Matter of fact, if you guys know what the best Terminator game is, let me know in the comments. Besides this one, because this one might be the best one to ever come out, ever in the history of Terminator games. I remember the one from Super Nintendo. That one sucked quite a bit. And I'm trying to think of a couple others. There's also the arcade cabinet with the shooters. That one was pretty cool, but like, I don't know. This game feels different because it seems that the people, Bitmap, really care about presenting this in a way that was authentic and real to the Terminator franchise, like for fans, but then also making it like palpable and digestible, because it's not like overbearing with the story. We're not getting like 4 minute long cutscenes. We're just getting little flashes of the story, to where like if you're a fan of the franchise and you've seen the movie, then you're very familiar. Now, if you haven't seen Terminator and you're not familiar with the Terminator story, then you might end up a little bit lost in terms of just like the progression and how fast the story goes. To a degree, I think they actually did a good job of dumbing down the story enough for the game to where if you haven't played a Terminator game, you would still get the gist of the story and still have a good time playing it. But like I said, if you're a hardcore Terminator fan, then this will actually be extremely enjoyable for you because one, they offer alternate storyline alternatives, but then also you get to play as multiple characters in the game, as I said earlier, and it just feels cool. It's a cool feeling game. The controllers are tight. It's a game that I would probably play over and over again, but not too many times. The replay value is fine. Like I said, like I think over maybe another 5 or 6 playthroughs of this game, after I try to unlock everything, I will probably be over this game. And that's being real about it. But I don't think this game was designed to be anything more than that. Like I said, if it's supposed to be like akin to old school arcade cabinets and Nintendo games, then that's kind of the vibe. Like I don't think that those games were meant to be played over and over again for years to come, right? There's kind of like the dopamine hit of getting that franchise and getting those moments off and then just playing the game, moving on to the next game. And so overall, I mean, I would probably give this game like a 7 out of 10, which is honestly a lot more than I was expecting it to be in terms of score. Like I was expecting it to be like a 4 out of 10 when I started playing it, or when I saw the footage of it and heard about it. But then I think the main reason why I even decided to check it out was because the reviews that were coming in were like, oh, this game's a little bit more than I expected. And people have done a good job of not spoiling a lot of the game. I know I probably have dropped a couple spoilers in here. My bad on that. But I think that, like I said multiple times in this video, if you're a fan of Terminator, go check this out. Like just drop everything you're doing. Take a break from E33 and play this for like 4 hours. Play it twice, unlock the stories, get all the power-ups, do all that stuff, and get that little nut off. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the franchise, because that's kind of what it feels like. It feels like an ode to the franchise. It's not something that they're going to expand on, and maybe they will, but I would like to see a lot more from this company, because when I went to go check them out, they seem to really have the retro modern stick down, which is probably why they were able to secure this franchise and this IP to make this game. So I would love to see more from them. They have a couple more games, including, I already mentioned Xeno Crisis, but they have another game that's called Final Vendetta that's kind of like a Streets of Rage type of game. And then another top-down called Battle Axe. So it's like they already have the retro modern game aesthetic kind of locked in. So I would love to see what else they got going and what else they got coming. But what did you guys think of Terminator 2D No Fate. Did you enjoy it? Do you think it's worth the $30? Is this a Game of the Year contender? It's not. But I would love to hear your thoughts. Tap it in the comments. Let me know. Run it up. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Y'all take care. Peace.